Good evening, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today and talk about our DEI initiative, Aramb. To start off with, I think my colleague Neelam in her very first panel presentation today spoke about how we really got started with this. It wasn't an act of charity. It was not CSR based, very, very firmly grounded in the business realities, the fact that our business was growing year on year. We needed people to manage the introduction of new business lines and the volatile ecosystem. So what is the need of the hour? Widen our talent source pool. And that can only be done if you do and take on additional diverse talent, which is reach out to the women, reach out to the persons with disabilities. Neelam also spoke about the pilot that we did before we started the process. This produced some outstanding results, which are out here, quite dated information, but this is what it is. Absenteeism and attrition much, much lesser, and productivity quickly coming on to par within 3 months. With that, we really put together a framework because when we started, we didn't really want it to fizzle out after some time. We wanted to make it sustainable, right? So the idea was to have a structured kickstart, a D&I council with all the business heads, the CXO leadership being a part of it, having the senior most leaders buying into the process. Building infrastructure, we spoke about basic things like washrooms, changing rooms, how do you design the hiring protocol, what questions can you ask, what questions can you not ask. Enabling an ecosystem, right, for the persons with disabilities, and to really train the non-PWD workforce on sign language so that they can communicate better, feedback surveys, and of course, inclusivity workshops and sessions. And finally, capability development, which is how do you really develop internal diverse talent to take on next level roles. We hit some milestones, women delivery partners, support framework for PWD employees, Leadership Connects, where CXO teams are meeting top-performing women and PWD talent, making them recognized and heard so that they know that they're an integral part of the organization. And of course, capability building programs, which I'll talk about a little bit more in the next couple of slides. Importantly, we hit positive diversity in the CS function. More than 50% of the workforce in the CS team is gender diverse. And of course, one of the most important parameters, female workforce are provided with safe and friendly work environment. That's our highest scoring question consistently in the past 5 ESAT surveys that we've had. We branded our DEI initiative as Aramb, beginning to make the difference as well along the way. This is a safety framework we have for women delivery partners. They have pepper sprays, they have safety toolkits. There's a detailed SOP which talks about what to do, what not to do when interacting with customers. Direct one-on-one WhatsApp connects with regional leadership in case it's required. And of course, a detailed SOS device as well to be used in case of emergencies. We highlighted the journey, the successes, the challenges that our PWD workforce faces in the workplace. And we put this out as a video for both our internal employee base as well as external world to know. I'll play the video, but a little bit later, maybe given the paucity of time. And Women Development Program is the flagship capability building initiative for our mid-managerial high potential workforce, built on 3 pillars: the path of self-discovery, inspiring, which is monthly group coaching where you come together to learn and uplift each other together, and then equipment, which is basically focusing on your own strengths through a Gallup strengths finding session to kind of get the outcomes that you want from a performance standpoint. Similarly, while this is for our mid-managerial high potential women, we also have a women's skill building program focused on our entry-level frontline workforce, blue-collar workforce, so that they really can move up to first-level manager roles, so to speak. And this, obviously, given the socioeconomic demographic, is much more wide-based, right? It has basic skills, life balance, financial planning, self-defense, health and nutrition, a lot more holistic in nature considering the kind of ecosystem that these colleagues operate in. All of this put together has helped us get some really good impact, I think, yeah. We started off around 7.5% when we started the journey about 5-6 years ago. Today, nearly at 20% gender diversity. PWD workforce, a measly 25 numbers, today at 950 almost. Attrition and productivity numbers and absenteeism numbers that I spoke about at the very beginning still hold good true after so many years. And nearly 550 plus women employees have gone through developmental initiatives. Some awards, Train, ACOM, of course, last year we were the DI champions, GPW, a great place to work for multiple years, and this is what our path ahead looks like. In terms of scaling up further, involving identifying more roles, and of course, skilling further more workforce. With that, I'd like to, if I have some time, just maybe play the video, if it's possible, yeah. Is it possible to hit the click button on the video?
As we adopted a sustainable and systematic approach towards DEI, we observed that several myths were being broken with respect to people with disability. PWD team members have shown lower attrition absenteeism and demonstrated continuous improvement and productivity.
With these efforts, we have been successful in onboarding a significant number of differently abled workforce across locations. This is a huge milestone for us under the initiative of ARAM.
That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And let's put our hands together for Team Big Basket for that presentation. Thank you very much. No questions. Yep, thank you. I now invite Team Reliance Retail Limited to showcase their PWD, Persons with Disability Inclusivity Program. Reliance Retail PWD Inclusion.
Yeah, this is my test. No,
This is the other one. This is the second one.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Gurpreet, part of Reliance Retail Corporate HR team, and today I'm here to talk about our efforts towards the inclusion of people with disabilities in Reliance Retail. Let me first introduce you to the face of our DE&I initiative, which is WE. WE was introduced in 2018, and it has 4 major focus areas, which includes gender, generations, disability, and sexual orientation. Today we are here to deep dive into one of the major focus area, which is disability. But before moving forward, let us go through some statistics under this space. Today we have over 1,500 plus people with disabilities across our ecosystem, a workforce that represents 63% speech and hearing impaired, 21% orthopedically impaired, and 16% with other disabilities. Since our major cohort is speech and hearing impaired, most of the initiatives are centered around that group. But these numbers alone don't tell us the full story. What makes this journey powerful is that how we have created a foundation of sustainable inclusion. The journey started with a vision to create a conducive environment for the employees and to foster a culture of inclusion. Among many needs, we identified 5 major needs, which includes strengthening the PWD workforce, sensitization and sign language workshops for the managers, rewards and recognition program, accessibility of the hiring portal, and creating a safe space for the employees. To address the identified needs, we curated 5 key initiatives, which I'll be taking you through one by one. To strengthen the PWD workforce, we did the role mapping exercise across businesses in collaboration with the leading NGOs. Through this role mapping exercise, we identified 55 unique roles for the corporate, 15 unique roles for the stores, and 8 unique roles for the supply chain. Few roles identified for the stores include customer service associate, cashier, store, and department manager. This exercise helped us to make a structured hiring process for the PWDs. Beyond hiring, we have also focused on enablement and awareness. We have curated sensitization and sign language workshops for our store and department managers, since they are the first point of contact for the PWD workforce. To institutionalize this learning, we have developed 3 ISL modules in our internal learning management system. These interventions have enhanced the communication and engagement between the SHI employees and the managers. These are the few glimpses of the feedback shared by our store and department managers who have undergone these workshops. To recognize the achievement and the contribution of people with disabilities, we introduced Saksham Awards, which is an R&R program for the PWD employees in 2024. Through this program, we recognized 116 PWD employees and 25 store and department managers for their contribution. Building on the success of last year, this year again, for the season 2, we have invited nominations and we have received a tremendous response. We will be handling the ceremony in the month of December on the occasion of people with disabilities. Apart from this, we have also published 50+ success stories of people with disabilities in the organization. Accessibility has also advanced through the Reliance Samarth platform. Reliance Samarth is a digital platform designed to equip the candidates with industry-relevant skills. With a major focus on retail, it provides 700+ hours of training content in 6 different languages to equip the candidates and to make them job ready. We have made the hiring process inclusive by adding the modules in the Indian Sign Language, and today as we stand here, we have 6,500+ PWD pre-certified candidates who have gone through these modules and are available on the platform for hiring. Moving forward to the last initiative, which is We Extraordinary, an employee resource group for the PWD employees. This group ensures that all the members can actively participate, get engaged, and their concern areas are identified and addressed. With an active participation of 30+ members, including representation from the business, this group ensures that there is a strengthened sense of belonging and engagement among the employees. This has been the journey so far for us, and there has been a long way to go for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and let's hear it for Team Reliance Retail Limited for their PWD Inclusivity Initiative. We now invite Nexus Select Malls to make their presentation. Nexus Select Malls.
Thank you so much. I think it's the nth hour of today's session, but we will be quick. Hello everyone, my name is Maya and I'm supported by my colleague Arshika. We are going to talk about our DI initiatives, and I'm not going to bore you by list of activities, but I'll try and talk about the story of our deliberate effort and a systemic transformation which we tried getting it here. But before we talk about that, I think I'll go one step back and talk about who we are. So we are the India's first REIT in the consumption center space. We are the home for 1,000+ domestic and global brands spread across 3,300 units, or so to say stores across India. We are spread across 15 cities, and when I say that, it also includes the tier 2 and tier 3 cities like Mangalore and Udaipur. And so these are some of the cities where we have our malls, and we are proud to set some of the consumption trends or redefine the retail landscape in some of these cities. We also take pride that every year more than 130 million customers come to our malls to shop, to dine, and to celebrate their moments. And when I say this number, it's actually a responsibility, because when we manage this scale, we are also answerable for the social impact that we create, not only as part of our employee base, but also the customers. So when we charted our agenda, we were sure that whatever we want to do, it must shape the experiences that we offer, it must shape the workforce that we want to build, the policies that we want to create, and the leadership values that we want to really inherit when we go ahead. While doing that, the only metric that we take pride as of now is that our 30% workforce is diverse. We have been able to achieve 2% ex-servicemen and 2% PWDs in our workforce with 26% female population. Today, though we talk about these metrics, it wasn't very easy. When we started in Tier 2 and Tier 3, we faced challenges like we did not had skilled and trained female colleagues, and we were asked to hire them. When we acquired a new entity, there was always a challenge that because they didn't had any structured roadmap, we had to start from scratch and again go back to the drawing board, bring them back to up to the speed, and then move on. So these were some of the challenges. We decided that instead of creating an action plan, it needs deep dive re-engineering. We were supported by the business leaders. We started including some of the numbers in the annual report, in the dashboards, in the audits, and in the reviews, which ensured that this comes on the front page. My colleague Arshika will talk about some of the initiatives that really helped us push our agenda and set the stage where we are. Yeah, over to you, Arshika.
Thank you, Maya. So with 31% diverse workforce, our inclusion practices have helped us to create a workplace where everyone can thrive. Like diversity hiring is non-negotiable. All our job descriptions have inclusive language, which helps to, that ensures equal opportunity and also attract diverse talent. And also we have a specific diversity referral policy. And DEI goal is not just a goal for the HR department, but it is a goal that is included in all our leadership scoreboards, and it is reviewed and tracked just like any other business metric. Coming to the sensitization and awareness sessions, so these are conducted regularly for our employees and also for the people managers who have diverse workforce under them. We launched RMA series where 1,000+ women participated in transformative learning experiences on the topics like financial and digital literacy, personal branding, and more. One of the impactful initiatives is Happiness to Empower Her. Under this initiative, senior and middle management women were trained to equip essential skills which have helped them to foster personal and professional growth. Our diverse workforce includes PWD, people with disability, including speech and hearing impaired employees, women, and also ex-servicemen and their families. These are few of the glimpses of our happy PWD employees at their workstations at various mall locations. Now, diversity goes beyond our workforce. One of our core value is customer centricity, and customer centricity ensures that every customer at every mall feels included. We have reserved parking, signages, ramps, then creche facility, baby care room facility, and also under Happiness for Her program, we have over 85,000 women and girls have been impacted through menstrual health workshops and seminars. Let's look at some of the outcome and results. Over 38% of our total managerial roles are held by women, and internal growth, 33%, that is career progression, are also held by women. These are some of the industry achievements that we have received. Great Place to Work, certified 5th time in a row. We have also been certified as a DEI Crusader by ET and BCG. We have learned lessons along our DEI journey which have helped us to reach towards our DEI goal. Diversity is not just a metric, but it is a mindset, and along this journey we have to build a roadmap which will help us to adapt to new trends and new changes in the business. And we aim to achieve 35% diverse workforce in the coming 3 years. Yeah. So at Nexus Select Malls, we don't just enable shopping, we foster belonging and we build happiness for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Nexus Select Malls. Thank you so much. And we now invite Shopper Stop Limited to make their presentation. Team Shopper Stop, and please do mindful of the time limit. We are really rushed for time. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. And here we are talking about diversity since morning. So diversity is a vast cosmos, right? Right from a generational gap to gender parity to people from the LGBTQ community to disability. So there are a lot of spectrums. We work with everyone, of course. We want to include everyone. And I think at the heart of the entire diversity story is inclusion. While we have, could we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So while we have this whole story built, oh, sorry. My bad. Yeah. So our key pillars where we are driving diversity are women empowerment, persons with disabilities, and the LGBTQAI plus community. So why these pillars? Because one, we believe that historically these are the sections that have been underrepresented, and we believe that we can create a difference and a change. And secondly, our customers are obviously from all of these communities, and hence, they are part of our pillars. And yes, we have an inclusive culture, and it is ingrained in our values. So many of our values are very closely tied to this particular subject. Coming to women empowerment, we have close to 32% of our overall population are women, and we focus on gender diversity with leadership development and early career growth programs. When it comes to persons with disability, about 3.5% of our population is persons with disability, and we are inching towards a 4% coverage. And yes, we have a lot of people from the LGBTQAI community, and we're very proud to say that we are one of the early adopters. In terms of women empowerment, a lot of programs have been done. So we've been talking about this since morning, that we have to have women representation. It is also important that one, you attract women talent, but you also help them grow, right? So a lot of programs have been introduced to make sure that women are hired and women stay and women get retained and they grow in the organization. So whether it's our Baby Kangaroo program, where we have all women trainee department managers who basically grow from the front end level, right? So they come in and they step into management for the first time. Followed by our leadership program, which basically targets the mid-level management. So women who are looking to get mentorship and to grow into leadership positions. And we have the License to Lead program, which basically targets women at leadership roles. And we're looking to help them with mentoring and strategic initiatives and capabilities. So all of these initiatives together help us build our women workforce. Also, along with this, we have a lot of inclusive policy for women, like the menstrual leave policy, where we see that women should also have an equal playing field, right? There should be equity in the whole process, and women should have equal playing field, and they should have to choose their productivity as well over their biological reality. So we believe in these policies very strongly. When it comes to the PWD inclusion programs, like I said, over 3.5% of our population is from the PWD community, and we are growing this community, and we are inching towards a 4%. We're doing a lot of sensitization workshops. I think it's very important that at the organizational level, we should be ready. People should, be able to collaborate with them effectively. At the same time, we should have the right infrastructure to support them. We've also promoted sports participation for our PWD associates, and our women PWD associates have actually represented India at state and national level sports, and we've encouraged that. So we believe that, we see a lot of retention and attrition controlled in this particular area of our population. When it comes to LGBTQAI++ programs, we have inclusive HR policies, so fair hiring practices. right? We look at talent. Many people in our beauty side of the business come from this community, and we have gender-based and gender-neutral policies, like the POSH policy is neutral, which makes safe spaces for every gender at the workplace. Support is also provided for gender reassignment surgery. So many people who have even gone through transitions and transformations have had all kinds of support extended to them. We've also celebrate allyship and pride with pride. We've had, I think it's important to sensitize your leaders that, you have to speak to everybody with respect. So I think in the morning we did hear about, one of the members talking about how people refer to people from the community. So I think we need to be very mindful of our language. And of course, everything has to be backed with recognition. So we have like the Sheroes Women Achievers recognition, empowerability for PWD champions, LGBT champion recognition. All these people have been flown from, tier 2, tier 3 cities. For the first time, they've sat in an airplane and come to our services office, and they've been felicitated by our leadership team. So I think these programs give them a lot of, they give them a huge platform. So yes, the impact is that we have improved employee engagement, a stronger employer brand, like recognition for best workplaces for women and best preferred workplace for women. So yes, I believe that DEI is not just aspirational, it is backed by governance. It has to be intentional. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and let's put our hands together for Shoppers Stop Limited and invite Titan Company Limited to tell us about their DEI story.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sai Zoting, and I'm honored to be here today to walk you through the incredible work our team at Titan is doing towards moving to an inclusive organization. So before I begin, I'd like you all to close your eyes and imagine this. You're Ria, a high-performing area business manager known for your strong business acumen and people-first leadership. You're known for your ability to turn around underperforming teams through coaching and collaboration. This year marks a very important milestone in your personal life. You're about to be a first-time mother. But right now, you're feeling anxious and conflicted. Your biggest worry isn't about managing sales numbers or managing targets. It's about how you're going to hold on to a career that you've built so passionately while stepping into a new role as a mother. I'd like you all to open your eyes now. So I'm sure this story feels familiar, and we've all come across a Ria in our lives. But Titan's parent support policy turned this conversation for her, and for many more like her. For the first time, caregiving at Titan isn't defined by gender. The new policy introduces the concept of primary and secondary caregivers, ensuring that every parent, biological, adoptive, or through surrogacy, receives the same amount of respect, flexibility, and opportunity. The cover policy ensures a seamless transition for all caregivers by aligning stakeholders. Employees are ensured full remuneration and benefits and can return to work after their leave at the same or equivalent role, ensuring that they face no career penalty. Performance ratings remain protected during these periods, ensuring that life choices do not derail career growth. Employees also have the opportunity to extend their leaves in case they require it. If your work requires outstation travel, primary caregivers also get the opportunity to travel with their child and an accompanying caregiver. And for women in field roles, Titan's travel policy goes one step further, ensuring that employees receive company cars in challenging or unsafe areas, safe accommodation, and also extended stays. But wait, did you think that was all? Titan's caregiving and inclusivity extends beyond parenting to the unspoken realities of women's mental health as well. The period and menopause leave policy which was launched in January 2025, ensures that women can take leaves and flexibility during these phases. Complementing this are the gender-neutral medical benefits that include gender affirmation surgeries, support for same-sex partners, and also assistance for parents of children with special needs, but through flexible work arrangements and financial aid. Women represent around 29.8% of Titan's workforce, and these policies are designed to increase participation and retention. We've also seen an increase in the engagement scores in inclusion and well-being and received positive feedback from many returning parents, such as Ria. For Ria and many more Titanians, Titan's inclusive environment isn't just a policy update. It's a promise that work will always understand life. It's about growing through every phase as a professional, a parent, and a person with a company that understands that inclusion isn't just an initiative. It's a way of life. Thank you.
Thank you, and a warm round of applause for Team Titan Company Limited. And I now invite Max Fashion to make their presentation.
Namaskar. I'm Anurita with my colleague Anju. At Max Fashion, Landmark Group, everything that we do is aligned to our purpose. That is creating exceptional value for all the lives that we touch. We started our journey of inclusion in the year 2012 with just one PWD employee in one of our Bangalore stores. Fast forward to 2025, we are over 620 PWD employees working across all our stores, which is 200 plus cities, 500 plus stores. They represent 10% of our front-end workforce. 93% of our stores have at least one PWD employee working, and I take this with immense pride that among the 5 PWD, one is a proud female Maxine working with us. Inclusion for us is beyond numbers. It starts with induction, integration, at all aspects of their career journey at Max.
As the number of PWD employees increased, our numbers showed that 95% of them were speech and hearing impaired. So communicating with them was not merely a need, but a genuine step towards inclusion. That's when we introduced the training of basic Indian Sign Language to all our employees, the non-PWD employees, so that they can communicate with the PWD. And we have in-person trainings, e-learning courses, and of course, a quarterly refresher that whatever they learn, stay with them. And the green and beige badge that you see there is the Max Cares badge that our PWD employees proudly wear. This helps them be recognized by their customers, who get to experience their warmth and professionalism. Now that they are in the system, we wanted to give them career progression. And to set them on the path to success, we introduced exclusive training programs for them. This was to help them build their customer service skills, behavioral skills, retail skills, etc. This enabled them to grow from an apprentice role, which is the role that they are hired at, to a senior customer support executive. And to make them feel motivated and belong, we started celebrating International Sign Language Day, and they are part of every other celebration, like festivities, engagement activities, awards, etc., because they are one among us.
Our impact are multifold. If you talk about PWD, 75% of them have been with us for more than a year and have grown up the career ladder. If you talk about the organization, we have observed that 1.9% of the PWD attrition rate, which is 3% less than non-PWD staff. And if we refer to the community by and large, we had this beautiful experience where a PWD staff had communication with a PWD customer, child, and was able to make a bizarre sale happen. But it was the life that we touched and the customer feedback that we had and which touched our lives. Moving forward, our journey doesn't end here. We intend and we will have 100% PWD hires across all our stores. We will go further and have diverse disability employees coming across in different roles. And we are also at the moment exploring opportunities to take all our PWD top talents into managerial roles. You have heard it from us, hear it from them. Please.
And the audio, please.
Every day prove that ability has no limit, only opportunities waiting to shine. We have learned more ways to connect, through signs, through gestures, through heart. When we listen beyond words, we discover what teamwork truly means. For their families, every uniform, every proud step into the store is a dream once doubted, now lived. The courage light up homes, not just workplaces.
मैक्स में मेरी भतीजी जॉब करती है।
जब वो मैक्स का यूनिफॉर्म पहनती है उसके चेहरे पे बहुत खुशी रहती है, वही खुशी देख के हम भी खुश होते हैं। मैक्स ने उसको सिर्फ जॉब नहीं बल्कि खुशियाँ दी है।
Our customers notice the difference too, the attention, the sincerity, the warmth that turns shopping into connection.
I'm really amazed by their services. They truly are very kind and attentive to their customers.
I'm very much delightful and happy to watch Max. I always visit over here and Mr. Harish always provide me facilities and he is very kind and polite.
Ability beyond words. At Max Fashion, our PWD members truly embody this spirit every day.
Our PWD team members work with heart and honesty. We are thankful to have them as a part of our family members.
Kalki Kochli, our brand ambassador, received compliments from our PWD associates during the store launch and she graciously thanked them. At Max, inclusion goes beyond numbers. It reflects true participation, engagement, growth and belonging. Because we stand firmly by our purpose, creating exceptional value for all the lives we touch.
Thank you for hearing our inclusion story. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for Max Fashion and now invite Reliance Retail Kshetra team to tell us their story about inclusivity.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Archana Bharti from Grocery Business of Reliance Retail, and please meet my colleague Monica. We are excited to speak about our very good initiative that was taken by us, and the name is Kshetra. It is a journey which celebrates, it is a celebration that celebrates the journey of a woman from strength to leadership. She means her and Kshetra means space. So, Kshetra resonates her space. We started this journey a year ago when we realized that as a business, we are serving more than 2 million customers and most of the customers are women, that is almost 70%. We also observed that stores having women managers are doing very good in terms of store hygiene, attrition rate, and why is that so? It is because of the nature of the woman, and we all know that women are very much caring, they have patience and the essence of empathy that takes the customer service to the next level. We also thought that how can we replicate the same experience to our other stores as well. And earlier, whenever we thought of doing that, we always kept on hitting the same roadblock. After that, we as a team visited some of the stores in Chhattisgarh, which is my territory, and I met some of the women candidates in relation to the same activity, same kshetra. I related the same thing to my personal life as well, and most common answer which I received from women associates was that, ma'am, I know everything about this store, but I don't think that I will be able to become a manager. Then, as a team, we realized that she is saying true. She has the ability which it takes to become a manager, but she was lacking in one thing, and that was confidence. Me and my team try to understand what are the things which are holding our women associates to come to the managerial level. And we identify 4 barriers: confidence, exposure, safety, and family support. And that's how the idea of Kshetra has begun. Kshetra is a 12-month journey, journey of women in which we provide a clear understanding and support to women to reach to the next level. Then, talking about Kshetra, Kshetra is based on 4 foundations, which start from discover and ends at leads. On the basis of these 4 foundations, we have performed some of the activities, and it gives me immense pleasure to show you some of the highlights related to these activities which we performed on ground along with women associates. First activity which we did was self-defense activity. This we performed with the help of local police department, in which more than 400 women associates were benefited as they were trained about self-defense. We also trained them about health and their well-being. This was necessary because they used to learn that how can they manage stress as a manager, and they also needed to be more careful about their health and well-being. As we all know that females are very good at managing finances, and especially home finances. And we wanted to use the same strength to our store as well. So we took the help of women CAs, and we taught our female associates about finance, about the budgeting, and about the savings. These are the activities which we performed, and after that we received such an powerful impact, and the result was not only in numbers but it was also in behavior. When we started Kshetra, we didn't know that such a small activity will become a movement. And after, let me take you through some of the data, and these data are worth looking at. And this will also make you smile because it shows our journey from where we started and where we have reached now. After Kshetra, the conversion ratio of women managers has increased to 40%, which was earlier 10%, and it resulted into less customer complaints, and attrition ratio is also very much in control. Not only this, now we have 100+ Kshetra champions who are ready to take over the managerial roles. After Kshetra, now the question arises that where we go forward. So going forward, we have decided to launch this Kshetra in all of the region, as we have received such an encouraging response from all of the pilot where we have done, all of the states we have done the pilot testing. And we have launched it in MP, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, and Rajasthan as well. Now, before I finish, I just want to leave you with a statement that when any female enters Kshetra, she enters with a doubt that I don't know I will be able to do it or not. But whenever she finishes this Kshetra program, she leaves with a confidence that I am and I can do it. That confidence, that transformation is the true heart of Kshetra. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Reliance Retail, for that Kshetra program. I now invite Celio Retail Private Limited to tell us about their story.
Good evening, everyone. At Celio, we believe that everyone, regardless of their gender, age, capability, or background, deserves to be seen, supported, and celebrated. Today, we are pleased to share this opportunity to get this opportunity to share some of our stories. These aren't grand gestures or policies or reforms. These are everyday simple choices that make our workplace truly inclusive. Firstly, inclusion in everyday action begins by active listening. We have weekly meetings where every department leader gets to represent their team, monthly senior management meetings, quarterly global calls for all HODs, where they interact with HODs of other countries and learn and share their best practices. We ensure that the store voices are heard through town halls and monthly HR connects and help desks called as Ask HR. These are not just meetings, but these are inclusive processes that ensure that every voice is heard and diverse opinions are taken before decisions are made. Secondly, inclusive practices. We'd like to talk about an initiative we took this year, which is Project Play to Win, where people in the head office from every department had an opportunity to adopt a store and transform that store into growth. This initiative enabled people to contribute to the organization regardless of their function and was a truly inclusive practice that we found. The third one is continuous learning. We ensure that we continuously sensitize our team through various POSH and behavioral training and awareness sessions and ensure that everyone's feeling safe, respected, and inclusive. Next is diversity in people and inclusion in practice. We are a diverse organization and our people come from different nationalities, regions, backgrounds and cultures, right from our COO who is from French nationality to our Belgian head of retail transformation to the regional leadership team and colleagues across every part of the country. Our organization brings forward multiple perspectives and in our office conversations seamlessly shift from Hindi, English, French to regional languages, but the language of respect remains constant. The next story that I'd like to talk about is supportive culture and well-being. Inclusion is truly tested in times of vulnerability, and we all know that one size doesn't fit all. Hence, when two of our tenured high-performing employees shared their struggles with managing their personal and professional life, we did not respond with policy, we responded with trust. When Jyoti, one of our employees in our head office, shared her struggles with her daughter's health issues, we understood her situation and we provided her a customized solution. Since the last 8 months, she works half days fully supported by her manager and her team with no change in her pay or her career progression. Another story that we'd like to share is of Sheetal, who leads a critical function in our organization. While her circumstances at home were difficult and she could not continue working from the head office, we provided her the flexibility to move back to her base location, and she is working from Bangalore, and we've fully supported her in the entire journey. These are some of the testimonies that they have shared. The next story is something about redefining ability. One of our housekeeping associates in the head office, a few years ago, he lost his right hand in an accident. Many might have considered it as a hindrance, but we didn't. We connected with Inali Foundation and we provided him a prosthetic hand, and we saw that he has a renewed zest for life and he continues to be a part of the Celio family. We have achieved and maintained 100% pay parity across genders, ensuring that equal contribution earns equal recognition, and 22% of our leadership consists of women. I would like Akshay to take us to the road ahead.
Thanks, Ginny. So the journey continues for us, and it's a continuous evolving process. Currently, we are focusing on mentoring programs to the upcoming women leaders and the competent employees, equitable opportunities to the diversified talent pool to give them, put in the complex role so that they improve, inclusive leadership training programs for all the managers across levels. We have also created a storytelling platform for people to celebrate the inclusion stories. We know the conclusion can't be mandated, hence it has to be modeled, and that is what we aim exactly to do, to make empathy a leadership habit and equity an living experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for Team Celio Retail Private Limited and now invite Team Spiker Lifestyles Private Limited to tell us about their story of DEI.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Niha. I am from Spiker's L&D team. I have with me Anurag Chimote as well from the L&D team. And we would like to give you a glimpse of how at Spiker we have adopted the values of D, E, and I.
Okay, so Spiker was founded in 1992, and it's been over 33 years that we have been shaping the denim culture of India. And the spirit behind us has been very simple. That's been young and restless.
Guided by the dynamic leadership of CEO Mr. Sanjay Vakharia, Spiker has been in the forefront of the youth fashion industry since more than 33 years. We have a mixture of long tenure talents with over 40% of our HO employees who are with us for more than 5+ years. And along with that, we have young new hires who bring in fresh perspective.
Our culture brings psychological safety, trust for the people, in which we define that 25% of women are working with us, which shows the gender ratio, and the age ratio shows that there are 25 to 30 years of age of people are working at our stores. For us, inclusion is not a project. It's embedded in our everyday life.
It is the way we work, the way we take decisions, and it is the way we operate. This signifies through our initiative, Gratifying Wall, wherein employees appreciate one another through small gestures and notes, and this is a monthly activity.
This builds peer recognition from the cross-functional leaders. Projects like Project Spark brings teams together, like team from the production team, manufacturing team, HR and L&D team come together for a single shared vision.
This ensures that every voice from every function is heard and every perspective matters. Our biannual trade show is another event which is a platform wherein we strengthen our relationships with our buyers, with our vendors, and wherein our buyers connect with our back-end teams who bring in our products to life each season.
Yeah, this strengthens the relationship between the teams and also the business alignment before any season launch. Learning has been the core culture at Spiker. Our Rappel, our LMS platform, which is a gamified learning platform, which provides our employees to have micro-learning nuggets, micro-learning contents, which makes it gamified and learning engagement for them, which helps them to develop their skills and knowledge at the same time.
Through leaderboard, interactive games, and engaging content, we are trying to promote a culture which hones their creativity as well as learning. Spiker Beyond Work is an initiative started by ROW, which is our Rovers at Work, which is an engagement committee which promotes every culture and celebrates every culture's festivals with equal zeal and enthusiasm.
Yeah, events like Women's Day, Men's Day, and Spikerite of the Year makes people feel represented, valued, and connected.
Through outdoor events, through wellness initiatives, we ensure that every employee's well-being is taken care in terms of physical health as well as mental health.
Well-being is not only a priority, it's a benefit to all the employees.
Through our annual recognition event, that is ACE Awards, to our lookbook contest, which is a monthly event, we acknowledge and celebrate employees who bring in fresh perspectives.
Recognitions happens monthly, quarterly, and annually. Inclusivity becomes an habit, not only a moment.
Spiker has been a great place to work since more than 2 years, and it's counting.
With happiness score consistently above 80%, we are not just building a workplace, we are strengthening a community rooted in trust and belonging. Thank you from the Young and Restless family at Spiker.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Team Spiker, and a special thank you to all teams who have wound up within their time limit. Inviting InOrbit Malls India Private Limited to now make their presentation.
Good evening, everyone. I am Virendra from K. Raheja, representing InOrbit Malls. It's been a busy day with a lot of thought-provoking questions and ideations. I know I can sense the fatigue setting in with a lot of people already checking their phone screens, checking their feeds, or how much traffic back home. So I'll keep it short. At InOrbit, we have a very simple conviction that if our employees, our people, if they don't feel safe, supported, and included, anything that we want to do, be it in terms of our strategy, year-end goals, our PMS forms and goal sheets, will not be sustainable. So that's our DNA. And it's actually rather, it's our leadership behavior, and it is well articulated. And everything that we do in terms of how we hire, how we develop our employees and leaders, how do we assess them, it's part of that. So it is all across all our people practices. From my presentation today, which is inclusion and holistic wellness, I would just want you to take three key takeaways. So I'll not get into much details because of paucity of time, but just three key pointers for all of you to take away. So this is, with COVID, it is not a buzzword. Every one of you, I'm sure, would have a lot of wellness initiatives at your place. I'll just step in. We also, as an organization, have got multitude of wellness initiatives, be it in terms of physical, emotional, etc. What we've done is, there are a lot of things we realized that when we started implementing, they were piecemeal. And recently, we've brought it all together at one place with a tech partner. So for our employees, everything what they want to access is available on a single screen on their phone, which has helped us immensely. One takeaway from this slide is there was a recent survey done in terms of with 300 organizations. 52% of their employees, so 52% of the corporate workforce is pre-diabetic. When all of us do our employees' annual health checkup, we also do. We are slightly better in terms of that, but still a large number which we can't ignore. So once we identify that, if in case there's a percentage of people who are pre-diabetic, you know, there's a lot of effort that we put as an organization. So they are taken through a care program, and so there are various things that we do. And these are not schemes that we want to run. These are signals to our employees, signals that we as an organization care. We are invested. We want to walk that journey with you. And that's how we operate. We have a lot of young workforce, and otherwise also we at times have financial exigencies. A lot of us have this policy at InOrbit. With a click of a button, you can get your salary any day of the month. Usually, you know, it would otherwise get credited by the end of the month. But if in case you have any financial obligation, just on a click of a button, you get your salary. No questions asked, no justifications to be given, and very much appreciated by a lot of our employees. This is again tech-enabled, so you don't have to really chase HR to get your salary before. Third thing, again, a lot of things all of us are doing in terms of diversity and inclusion, and very similar things. One thing which I've seen a lot of people talking about, but they face practical hurdles when they want to implement. One thing I would want to highlight is, as an organization, across our locations, we have gender-neutral washrooms. And this is a norm at us. So these are things which are not even questioned. So any asset that is being built this is part of the design. So this is something, so 3 key takeaways which I wanted to share with all of you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much to Team Inorbit Malls. And our final team to present is Bata India Limited. Bata India Limited. Okay, another announcement for all teams. The moment this presentation is over, we will be felicitating all teams and presenting them mementos. So I'll request all team members across all these teams to kindly come and assemble here so that we get through the memento presentation without any delay. So Team Bata, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. So one key takeaway which I will be taking that good evening, everyone, would be my referral from now onwards. Okay, so in Bata, if I talk about, there are a lot of things which we are doing because as a legacy, as a company, it's been from 1932 and we have started our pace and looking at the retail across what are the best practices which I have seen and which we will be following. That would be great learning for all of us, for all my team over here. So at Bata India, inclusion is not an agenda, it's an instinct. It shapes how we hire, develop, lead and grow across our retail stores, factories and corporate offices. With a multi-generational workforce from veterans to Gen Zs, we have 33% female leadership who is taking across the main decisions in our company, and that is more into our belongingness, which is already reflected in our Bata standards. Then we have rich ethnic and regional diversity, where we are bringing a lot of things, new things in our company day by day. When people feel they belong, they perform better. They lead stronger and create lasting impact. So in 24, we launched WINGS, Women Inclusion and Networking, Group for Success. Then mental health awareness, unconscious bias, where we have 120 colleagues who have taken part in these sessions, and we have brought a lot of differences which brought productivity and efficiency at the ground level as well. Then we have received Herkies Diversity Award and HRD Award in Bata, and I would like to call my colleagues over here, Nikita, who is a flag bearer of D&I and will take it forward.
Very good evening, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank my colleague, Brahm. Very good evening, everybody. So inclusion, I'll be talking about inclusion. How do we define inclusion at Bata? So basically, inclusion is not limited to our workplace. It is beyond that. It is extended to our communities as well. So in collaboration with several groups, we have conducted various programs like partnered with CSR for Menstrual Hygiene Day, and we assembled 150 kits for underprivileged girls, and then we celebrated Pride Month, allyship through building bridges, creating safe zones. Then we supported the Transgender Leadership Conclave as gifting partner, extending our advocacy beyond Bata. We also did breast cancer screening camp, encourage preventive health, reinforcing that inclusion begins with care. And we have 20 DEI allies were appointed across business functions to champion everyday inclusion. Moving forward from representation to empowerment, like Brahm spoke about, how did we move in 2024, how did we start it? Here I'll be mentioning more about the empowerment, how did we represent it, and then how we moved to empower the same. So further, I would request my colleague, Mr. Gopa Kumar, to take it ahead.
So good evening, everybody. The thing is that in this year, Bata have projected the project Bharati, which is the hiring, retain, and development of women leaders in the stores. And we initiated the campus hiring drive, women role models, and women role models and people development at the store levels. Apart from that, we have included leadership program, which is a 6-month mentorship program introduced as per the guidance of our seniors. Now I am handing over to Mr. Jigar, business head. Thank you.
Thank you, Gopa. Good evening, everyone. Just continuing with the presentation. With Bata, we have started a new program called Leadership. It's a structured 6-month mentorship program where we take care of helping women accelerate in the growth factor through senior leader guidance and goal-driven development paths. I'll keep it short because we are on a paucity of time. So going next to the program. We also have one more initiative, which is Belong, which is our employee resource group, which anchors about awareness, campaign, learning sessions, and inclusive policy dialogues. The current campaign, which is Word at Work, re-engineered how we talk about inclusion, transforming vocabulary into a cultural tool. Just to close up onto this, our CEO pledge, inclusion pledges, every business decision at Bata must have a woman colleague at the table. So a leadership commitment that reshapes the strategic discussion and decisions are made. Expanding the circle of inclusion, we are talking about veteran hiring program, which is our upcoming program in 2025. I think that's all from our side. Thank you for your time.